Welcome to ComicCast, issue number 183, brought to you by Dwayne's World Comics and Games, 457 East Sullivan Street in Kingsport, Tennessee. They carry comic books, graphic novels, statues, toys, and gaming merchandise, including miniature games, board games, and RPGs. Dwayne's World Comics and Games, Kingsport, Tennessee. My name is Boogie Bentley.
And I'm Adam Wade Adams, a.k.a. the OG bully Scut Farkas.
I'm Jason.
And this is Gaumer.
That was an amazing reference. We are at ComicCast Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Wherever you get social with your media, you're listening to this on YouTube via the S&B Network. Go ahead and smash the like button, share out the link. Let's grow the live chat. Let's have a fun show. We are joined by a special guest this week. Once again, Cody Fernandez, the writer-creator of Jack Irons, the Steel Cowboy, the IronVerse Comic Universe. Welcome to ComicCast.
Wow, thank you so very much for that amazing intro.
I'm blown up. I'm almost out of breath. We talked right before we went live. I can't breathe. We got to do something. You know, we got a thing. We got a way that we start these interviews, but I got something fun. I want you guys to watch this. I want you guys to enjoy this. This is a video. If you go check out the IronVerse YouTube channel. And this is the best way to introduce your comic, and then we're going to get into it. I just want to share this with you guys. Let's do it.
Very nice.
That's it.
right.
That's it. Thanks for listening to ComicCast issue 133. The links are in the description. We'll catch you guys next week. That's the promo. That's it. Dude, what more do you need?
Right?
Like a little small spoiler, I do like how that robot let him finish his drink. That was awesome. I appreciate that. That was some gentlemanly behavior right there.
Jack appreciated it too.
Dude, the live chat's already going nuts. I can't see
yeah.
it when I'm sharing my screen. You guys are going nuts. That music, the artwork, I'm telling you, that's your pitch. That's all you need for this comic book. But we're going to get into that comic book here in just a little bit. But I do want you go ahead and lay out the credit for that music, because that's some dope music, man.
I really appreciate that opportunity. It's from Laguna Munta. He's a original rock and roll artist from my hometown, my oldest friend, and he spent a lot of time and effort. That is the second of 3 Jack Irons tracks. We just released a promo of the newest one today on that very stream that you were showing that video off of. So you folks can go and check it out on my YouTube, IronVerse Comics. But you can also check and sub to his at Laguna Munta and support indie art. That's why I'm here, and a good part of why you guys are here, mainly for comics. But I definitely appreciate my original music.
Yeah,
can we expect like a full soundtrack as well later on?
Yeah. So far we've got 3 tracks from Laguna Munta and then 1 track from ZVT Music, which is a little bit more techno influenced.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we've been working on that for a little bit. Jack's inspired a lot of artists, and I've been privileged to be able to share their work with folks like you guys.
That's awesome.
The link for your YouTube channel is also in the description for anybody that is interested. Go check that out. I was checking out your live stream today, but yeah, it's all in the description. But this is ComicCast, and there's one way we do things. We don't sugarcoat. We don't waste time. We get right into it. What's your favorite Rocky movie?
Favorite Rocky movie? I think it's 3.
Nice.
Oh, good answer.
Mr. T.
It's 3.
Mr. T.
Mr.
Clubber
T.
Lang?
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Hogan's in that.
Everybody forgets that because Mr. T is Clubber Lang. They all forget that.
I did.
I believe that's the one. Was it Liana picked as well?
The results as of right now. No, Liana picked number 3.
Did she?
Yeah, she's picked number 3. We have 2 votes for number 3. 2 votes for number 1.
Oh.
Number 1.
So it's going to be interesting. I'm not counting my votes if I ask people on my Random Tuesday show. That's not.
Are we counting Rylan Grants for number 4?
Nope.
Nope.
He's not been here in
Not
2020, man. Although
all right.
I have a feeling he will be back. He will be back.
My prediction.
Mhm.
Pain.
Anybody in the live chat that's throwing up that sweet Clubber Lang emoji, you can become a member of this channel for just 99 cents a month. Gain access to all the custom emojis. You can put pictures of Adam down there chugging root beer. It's good fun. Good fun. We're going to get into
it's well spent.
Totally.
It's not even a cup of coffee. It's like a pack of bubble gum, man.
I hate when people say like a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
It's a
because a cup of
cup of
coffee is like
coffee.
$8 now.
Yeah.
A cup of coffee is ridiculously expensive. We got 18 hanging out in the live chat, guys. Make sure you smash that like button, share out the link. Let's grow the live chat. Let's have some fun tonight. We're going to get into Cody's book here in just a little bit. We're going to have some fun conversation though first. Why comics, man? Why comics? What got you into comics? What's your story?
All right. Well, what got me into comics was finally getting some money as a teenager and being able to spend it on what I wanted. And one of the 2 things that I really wanted, one was comics, and another was music. And with comics, what hooked me on comics was Ghost Rider Road to Damnation by Garth Ennis and Clayton Crane.
Nice.
That really it showed me storytelling that I had never gotten in books, video, any other medium. And Clayton Crane's art just blew me right away. It's insane. It still is. He's still my favorite digital comic artist.
I love Clayton Crane. Yeah, he's so good. I tend to buy a lot of his Scorpion Comics exclusives. His covers that he does. Got to meet him twice and get his signature on some of those exclusives. But he's just such a nice guy too. It's even better when you meet someone that you appreciate their art and they end up being like really nice. Unlike like Rob Liefeld or something. But,
we can go down the list and just rattle off people if you want to.
No, sorry.
Shout out to Yule Carter in the chat for becoming a member and gaining emoji access.
Yeah.
We appreciate the support. My brother from the Wrestling Council, which you can catch on Thursdays at 9:00. What about now? You reading anything? Anything? Well, let me hit the super chat first, then we'll get into that. Venomized Ryan for $2 says Clayton Crane Venom is some of the best out there, and that's coming from a Venom expert. But thanks for the super chat and the support, Venomized Ryan. What about now? You reading anything now? Any new
I
comics?
just, to my chagrin and shame, I just started picking up East of West, and I'm 3 volumes into it. The reason why is because for our issue 3 campaign, which is launching Tuesday, we actually got Frank Martin Jr. to color one of our variant covers.
Nice.
So that really got me interested. Why is this guy interested in our work? Because he came to me. And so I started reading East of West, and East of West is an incredible weird Western epic, and I can see why he liked what we're doing.
Yeah, very similar to what you're doing. Very similar.
Yeah.
No comment on that, Gomer. That's your boy.
Hickman. I love Hickman.
Oh, Hickman's great.
Oh man, don't get me started. I just read X-Men like
Yeah,
half
I
an
just
hour
read.
ago. I'm reeling.
Me too. I read it just before this.
Yeah,
this
me
show.
too. Me too. But yeah, what is the source of this though? You're talking about East to West. It's like this epic cowboy, meets sort of steampunk thing, and that's basically what you're doing here. What's the
Well, kinda.
source of that?
Yeah,
I
I
think
like how
I'm diving more into a Mad Max post-apocalypse, not a
absolutely.
ongoing. Also, we're trying to hit more joviality than Hickman hitting East to West. East and West is very serious.
Yeah.
When it does a joke, it's still very deadpan, which makes sense for a main character being death. But with Jack, it's more of a lighthearted exploration, and what we're doing is we're lightheartedly exploring very, very dark themes, and it's going to consistently go down that path more and more as we continue.
Yeah, I like how this character is he's had multiple lives in the past, and it's really cool getting like a little past history of his past lives, and then seeing how he is here in the future, and then what happened to Earth, and how it's just is kind of populated by zombies, and how it got there. I feel like one is a great like origin story on him, and then the second one is like more like world building upon like what happened to like the rest of the setting. And so I'm really looking forward to issue 3 to see like what's next.
Yes, issue 3 is when we get the issue 1 and 2 we're laying the dynamite in place, and at issue 3 we light that thing up.
Nice.
Oh, really? Issue 2 was just laying the dynamite? It wasn't, because it felt like you lit some things up in that issue.
Like those 4 bad guys, that was awesome.
Well, maybe there were a few premature explosions, which maybe gets people's interest.
I love
smell of gun smoke, get some people running.
Yeah, the villains are awesome in that, and I guess they're kind of an analog of the 4 Horsemen.
They are indeed. IronVerse Comics is built on those 4 pillars. Right now, with Jack Iron Steel Cowboy, you're seeing what happened on Earth with them, but in the overall IronVerse Comics history, those 4 things manifest wherever any sentient species engages in those activities to an excess. And so on Earth, we engaged in all 4 very quickly, and you see in issue 2 what happened with that. But other planets and other places in the Weird West galaxy there will manifest them slightly differently. In this case, we got a big brutal warlord. We got a scientist that's a little too into finding the perfect life. We got a sleazy corporatist whose main goal is to turn all life into toil, and then we get Death, who of course is very silent on his motives.
I like the corporate guy. You got these monsters, and then there's this straight-laced guy, or appears to be straight-laced guy in the mid, and you get the feeling like he's the worst of all of them.
Right. It's probably the ugliest on the inside.
Yeah. Like
I love the design on all of them, though. Like I really like the Death design is my favorite. But that corporate guy is definitely like worth a chuckle. He's just a businessman. Reminds me of a little bit of like the Roxxon guy, for those that are familiar with Marvel. It's just total relatable stuff, and this is great. I'm excited to see what's next, man.
Now is Jack Irons the only one who can recall his like past lives like he does, or like is there?
Actually, that is kind of open-ended. It's not something we'll deal with directly, but you'll see that nobody else really has that same experience where he remembers all these things. But there are other immortals in Jack's world.
Okay.
He's not he's the only one stuck in that body with memories of past bodies. But there are a few others who are also stuck in their body. And,
William Bates says, "Love the robot horses pulling the Harley Davidson." Dude, this looks like straight up. It looks like Sean Gordon Murphy in Tokyo Ghost is the vibe I get from that panel, which that's like the highest of the high praise. Like that's exactly what
praise. I really appreciate that. Gordon Murphy does incredible work and is still doing incredible work. And thank you.
I know. You know, we went through issues 1 and 2, but I was like, my thought was going into issue 2 was it's like, oh, are we going to start out every issue with him at the bar talking to this guy about something? Because if so, that's awesome. I love that. I love that aspect of him. You know, just
you give me that theme music we opened the show with a dude in a bar. I'll just look at it for hours.
It's like that guy at the bar. He's like drunk and tipsy, but like it'd be funny if he was like super like OP, just like overpowered, like his best friend and partner, like secretly.
Or he's that guy. It's like, why do these people always come and talk to me? Why am I the guy that they always come? You got this Jack Irons guy. You got this robot bounty hunter. You got all these people. And it's like, I'm always stuck in the middle. They always come to me. Why? I just come to the bar to drink.
No, exactly. I took that framing device from an unlikely source folks will probably know, which is Forrest Gump. I went for a very basic framing device where it's somebody telling his tales, because it's a similar idea where he's telling different parts of his history of his life and presenting it to some random bystander who may or may not care. And so that continues through the first arc pretty good. Issue 3 does not start off with it. In fact, it starts off right where issue 2 finished off.
Okay.
And, but we do return to that. That is the ongoing framing device for this first arc. And the main point of it really is this guy just talking nonsense in the bar? I want that sense of disbelief in the back of the reader's mind.
I don't want to spoil the ending of issue 2.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's so good, but I just want to know who that is so bad.
That's issue 3. That's issue 3.
Right. All right, cool.
And since you're saying that, I did my job with issue 2.
All right.
You know, and how you've done your job so well. While we've been talking, I have been like searching. It's like, how do you? I'm wanting to buy physical copies of this book.
Okay, well, right now on Tuesday, people can start funding issue 3 and get those variant covers of issue 1 and 2 through that campaign, the Frank Martin variants. But right away, I'm waiting for my publisher, Wicked Publishing. Folks, look them up. Check out their other titles. They're new on the scene, but they've been doing tons of great indie work, and they really were a blessing. Main reason this book has gotten the traction it has is because we were able to offer physical copies through them. They're going to do a second reprint here in the coming months. Hopefully this next month, but we'll see. And folks can just order them straight from there. And another cool thing that'll show up on their website, so just look up Wicked Publishing, and then you can find their store and look at their titles and such. We actually have a 4-inch minifigure coming out of Jack. If folks want to check that out.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's nice.
That's gonna be super cool to create something and see like a little physical manifestation of that. That's awesome. That's
the sculptor did an excellent job of translating them to 3D, which you would think would be very difficult with the stylization that our killer artist does. Maximiliano Dallo, follow him on Instagram or anywhere else you can find him. Very talented artist from Argentina, very underfollowed and underseen.
One of our mods, Comic Book Bob, is dropping the link to Comixology in the chat.
Perfect.
Do you have a link set up for the Indiegogo campaign yet, or is that
I have
not
the pre-launch. Let me.
If you can drop it in the private chat, I'll throw it in there, and then we'll get Bob.
Okay. You can get an extra 10% off on if you sign up early for the updates on everything. So you can save quite a bit.
All right. I'll throw that in the chat, and we'll get Bob to keep just plastering.
Yeah, I sent it to you. I found it.
Oh, cool.
Nice. You mentioned the artist on this. How did you guys meet? How did you guys get together for this?
That's a
series?
fun story. So I ended up
Awesome.
with a little bit of extra cash due to a tragedy. Not a huge amount of extra, but a little bit enough to get me cocky enough to go looking for this script that I had written for a long time. It was a good 5 or 6 years that I just was sitting with the scripts because I just wanted to write something. And comic scripts are pretty varied in format, so I didn't have to worry about it, looking like anything in particular. But anywho, I went looking for comic artists wherever I could. I had no idea how to start, so I just began. And I got jerked around quite a bit. Eventually, I took the last shot in the dark most people would try, which was Craigslist.
Oh.
I went on Craigslist and I put up an ad, and he responded. And he comes into my hometown every so often from Argentina, and our timing just lined up. I met him in a freaking McDonald's, and we exchanged information.
Wow.
And I gave him my rough, terrible sketches, and he made something out of them. And right there and then, the next day, we had come up with a deal, and we got issue number 1 done. And that's actually up free on Tapastic.com. You can read issue number 1 in black and white for free.
Cool.
If you folks are really not sure and you don't have the $3 for the Comixology version, I want you to be able to read our book and check it out.
I'm telling you all, you got to dish out these 3 books to get this first issue. You got to see these colors. The coloring is amazing too, as well as the art. So it's well worth it.
So did you guys feel a significant difference from the issue 1 art to the issue 2 art? Because there was a 5-year difference in his talent.
Wow.
And a different colorist. So we tried very hard to make them flow
everything
together.
Everything still looked like it was part of the same series. It wasn't noticeable anyway. Unless
I didn't notice. But I don't notice a lot of things, right, Boogie?
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the IronVerse universe, IronVerse Comics? Because you're writing the Jack Irons, the Steel Cowboy book, but you talk about the IronVerse universe, and when I go look at your Twitter, which again, all the links are in the description. Make sure you go give him a follow, subscribe to his YouTube channel, check out his content. But you got a ton of creators tagged in your pinned tweet. So what is the IronVerse universe? What's your plans or what's going on?
So back when I wrote those scripts, the original concept was a heavy metal Justice League. It was everybody was themed on some kind of metal, and I wanted it to be in a Western field universe. So I just built something that would a universe that would provide the circumstances for that to happen. And the main pillars again are those 4 horsemen. They're all over the galaxy. They affect all kinds of different things. Cactus Coyotes, the second title we've been pushing, and that you can read the first manga, which does read right to left, that I did with my partner Dollar Coins. Same place on Tapas, 40-page free manga, kind of gives you an idea. But so in our universe, Cactus with a K is actually a metal, so he falls in line there. Then there's Lady Silverado, there's Tracker Top Predator, and then there's the Golden Monk, and there's is that everybody? It's been so long. I'm working on a lot of different stuff. But anyway, all those artists that are tagged are attached and have begun production on at various levels of these things. But the main goal is to get Jack into space, and that's where everything converges, and we can have a team book, and we can have varied original titles taking place on any kind of Star Trek era kind of idea. You have what I try to. This is a weird Western apocalypse meets One Piece is where we want to get.
Oh, cool.
And so instead of One Piece, which wove the origin stories into its narrative to keep it singular, we're doing it where there's multiple narratives that will weave into each other from different titles. It's just a try. But right now, Jack is where we're at, and you'll get a completely satisfied experience and self-contained experience in Jack Irons. And you can branch out to our other works if you want to enjoy more of that universe.
The Mastodon says, is there a Facebook and Instagram for IronVerse?
The Facebook, you can find me at Jack Irons. I believe it's just straight up Jack Irons. And then there's a Facebook page, Jack Irons, the Steel Cowboy 33, I believe. If you want to check out our Facebook page, I do post updates there. I'm not very active on Facebook or Instagram.
Facebook sucks for comic books, man. Let's be honest.
Facebook's so bad. It's
For pages in general, yeah.
Right.
Well, I sent you a friend request regardless.
And
I'm just out here connecting with people.
Instagram's at Jack Irons Comics. My buddy Dollar Coins again is handling most of that one. So you're welcome to follow us there and help support and share the best of the Weird Space West and help us put the frontier back into the final frontier. That's
so
our
cool.
goal.
God, I love how ambitious that is, having so many characters and creating a universe and have them all connect through different storylines. The ambition alone is something to be praised. That's great.
Yeah, most independent comic universes do not survive. Yeah. We're gonna try very hard.
Nice.
Hey, if you're putting out interesting content, it doesn't matter. Look at and I'm not. This is big shoes to fill. I'm not saying you're Jeff Lemire, but look what he did with Black Hammer. Like, if you're going to create superheroes, they better be damn good. Like, it better be Superman, Green Lantern level stuff. And Jeff Lemire, hold my beer and watch this. You can do it, man. When you're creating interesting content, creative characters, you can do it, man. You can create a universe and a world, and people will buy in.
That's the hope, and so far so good. We have a wonderful and very supportive fan community. I've collected about 250 pieces of fan art. We're doing the fan art gallery again in issue 3 if we're able to print. We did that in issue 1, and then in issue 2 we did concepts. I think I prefer the fan art gallery. That's what we've been testing, and then we'll see how that goes. Continuing on, I think I want to continue with the fan art gallery because there's just so many amazing artists out there that really don't get much attention that really deserve it. And that's one way we at IronVerse Comics can help folks get a foot in the door.
Very cool.
And again, we've got the Indiegogo link in the description, or not in the description, but in the chat right now. You can click on that and check it out. What can they expect from that? You're going to send updates to them. They're going to get discount codes. Is that how that works?
So I'm going to send updates through that. It also will get you. I believe what I'm going to try and do is late Monday night. I'm going to launch it, and folks who are on the email list will get first access to it. I won't launch it publicly and show everybody till about that morning or what have you. And then, we'll go from there. I'm hoping to hit the ground running. That's the best way to get passive awareness, which is the best way to get awareness overall.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to bag it. What do you think? Will there be a tier that offers like the, lack of a better word, the catch me up tier that'll give you issue 2 and issue 1 as well?
Yeah, and those, of course, will have the exclusive covers. But again, there's a chance that my publisher will reprint issue 1 and 2 while we're running the campaign, in which case you can just go to Wicked Publishing's website and order it straight from them there. And you won't have to wait like you will with the variant covers.
Okay, cool.
I'm excited for the soundtrack, man. More songs.
Oh, yeah, we released the first 2 songs and a Cactus Coyote track last.
You said that one's more like digital, kind of, is like an industrial sounding, I'm imagining, or some kind of synth thing. Yeah,
more synth, and it's a little bit more fun. I mean, he's a shape-shifting gambler who is a coyote. He's a smuggler, and he has a pocket dimension in his stomach, so he can smuggle a lot of different things. If folks check out the manga, the first thing you end up seeing that he did smuggle is a starship engine, and he ends up rigging that into his little tin can engine to get a little bit extra speed boost. That manga is a lot of fun. I really hope folks check it out. Cactus Coyote on Tapas, and really that has over 400 pages of manga written already, so we're ready to produce it. Again, we just need funding, so we're going from there. I'm just ecstatic to be able to talk to folks and show folks what we're trying to do.
We've doubled the live chat since we went live, so I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna play this again. I want people to see this because I am a music guy. I know Jason is. I can hear it in his voice when he's talking about music too. I'm gonna play it again. We're gonna sit here and watch this because nothing sells this book better than watching this video. So sit back, hold your beer, and let's watch this again.
Check it out, folks.
Like it was like, keep the change for the damage that's going to happen to the table. My favorite poker table. buddy.
I just realized the robot was wearing like a handkerchief over his
like a
mouth,
bandana. Uh-huh.
like he
It's a
doesn't want to-
Western world. Yeah, I wanted to
Yeah.
ask, like, why a Western in particular? You know, I was just curious about that.
We can transition to that. I'm sorry. I just love that video. I could watch
Oh,
it
yeah.
all day long. Let's
Yeah, that's
transition. Go ahead.
Yeah, why the Western? And on top of that, you know, why the Western world? But I thought it was cool that it's like you went to almost a Roman. I mean, granted, it was a past life, but it was like
Right.
we got like Roman, we've got like Native American, and we got Western. And like you said, you're wanting to go into space. You're running the gauntlet here, and Iron Jack can handle it.
Is Jack
is he-
here?
Is he? Is
Oh,
he?
did I lose you? Did I lose you? Apologies.
He's back. He's
I'm
back.
muting
He's
my
back.
mic.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay.
Running. Forgot to unmute. Very
Oh.
professional.
It
Anywho,
happens.
I chose westerns because at the same time when I got into comics, like I was saying when I was younger, you're starting to put your toys back in the closet. You know, you're starting to grow up and such, and westerns, particular in issue 1, you'll notice I threw a RoboCop line next to a line from Unforgiven.
Yeah.
I saw that. I noticed that immediately when I saw it. I was like, "That's RoboCop."
Yeah. Exactly. The idea was to it was holding on to the childhood bits I remember, and yeah, those were very heavy, very dark movies, but it was coming to a new awareness of what they were, memories of watching them with my dad, those kind of things. That transition from childhood to adulthood is a big influence on Jack, just like Samurai Jack is a massive influence on Cowboy Jack. And I've tried very hard to use everything I enjoy and put that in there. And anyway, that quote was, I used a shotgun when I should have used a sniper rifle to hit my mark.
Yeah.
But I hit it anyway. And so I take a little bit of pride in that. Nonetheless, yeah, there's a lot of not quite conflicting themes, but there's a lot of themes in it, a lot of different angles that we and I really tried to combine. But honestly, a lot of the magic, anything that you're seeing, Maxi Dallo and I have a very good rapport. We have since the beginning, and really visually, most everything comes from him. So if there's a tweak or an alien or that robot design, I just pick the color. There's a few little things like that where, I'm very blessed to work with this guy, because a lot of other artists, a lot of other things could not have made this work correctly like he does.
Right.
Nice.
But
Yeah, it sounds like he's the perfect artist. You know, I mean, I feel like I'm not sure what your scripts look like. I know there's no format to it, but I can't even imagine being an artist and reading anybody's scripts. No matter how well it's done, and being like, wow, okay, I got to put this imagination into a physical thing. It's just much props, and it's executed well. I think it's translatable to what you probably wrote. Everything. You don't feel so lost, or you have a good idea of what's going on, and it's easily followable, I think, in my opinion, and it's fun.
Yeah, no, he taught me a lot through that issue 1, and then issue 2, we had our groove together. And issue 3, so far, we got 3 pages inked that you folks will be able to see on Tuesday when we launch, straight off of the end of issue 2, so you will get the beginning of what's going on and what I'm trying. Just on Tuesday, check it out on Indiegogo. Maxie's main influences are, of course, the amazing Mobius and Jamie Hewlett from Tank Girl. I think the Jamie Hewlett's starting to come on more and more, which is great. It works very well for this gritty post-apocalyptic feel.
Well, guys, check it out. The link is in the description for the Indiegogo that's going to drop on Tuesday. I know Adam's already said he's going to back it. I'm going to back it. I want. It's like, I hate saying this because I say it all the time, but when you read something for free and then you still support it with your money, that shows how good it is. And that's what Adam and I are going to do on Tuesday. So check out the links that are in the live chat. Go back it. The Twitter links, the YouTube channel, all of that is in the description. Go check it out. Go support Cody and the IronVerse universe. I'm excited about it. It's right up my alley. Really looking forward to it. We appreciate you coming on. Any plugs or anything you want to say on the way out the door?
Thank you guys for having me. First off, thank you folks for listening to my John. I always appreciate that. If you want to hear more from me, I try and do weekly updates on my YouTube. Sometimes not, sometimes so. It probably will be since this campaign's going. I'm going to be pushing it hard. And make sure to follow me on Twitter at @Cowboy_Steel. That's where I communicate very directly. Best place to ask me questions, best place to engage the IronVerse universe and the team. And again, thank you everybody very much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming on, man. Best of luck with the campaign. We'll see you later.
Absolutely.
Go follow Cody on Twitter, as you can see right there on the screen at @Cowboy_Still. I think he's been following us. We've been following each other on Twitter for a while. And I keep seeing that artwork, and I'm like, dude, this looks dope, man. This looks dope. So it's
that
cool.
coloring too, man. So good.
It's so good, so good. The
always get mad. I always get mad at myself because it's like something like this comes along, and then and I like it so much. I'm like, why didn't I know about this when like issue 1 and 2 was hitting?
Why didn't anybody tell me?
Right.
But that's the beauty of crowdfunding, man. When
Right.
they make that offer where you can go back and get caught up.
Yeah.
Who cares? Jump in when you can, jump in where you can, and
Absolutely.
you can do
especially
that.
when it's like independent. Someone's doing it themselves. Like you gotta support them. That's a respect the hustle.
Exactly, 100%. Can we talk about Lock and Key since I wasn't here last week? Is anybody watching that?
I didn't get to watch it.
Nobody's watched it except for Adam.
I watched it all.
You didn't. I know you did, but Jason, you didn't watch any more of it this week
because my wife and I are watching the new Sabrina season, and then we're got to catch up on Riverdale. She likes that show, and then we gotta we have so much other stuff to go through before we get to Lock and Key. So
Dude,
there's a lot to stream, man.
I'm like 2 seasons behind on Riverdale. That's another one that we're trying to catch up on too. But dude,
Archie takes his shirt off. Spoiler.
Cancel it all and go watch Lock and Key. It's so freaking good, dude. It is so good. Did you read the comic, Jason?
No.
Shut up, Adam.
No, I had someone.
Gomer.
The first
Did
trade
you
of
read Lock and Key?
No, I have the first trade. It's very good.
The first trade's all you've read. Guys, let me talk about Lock and Key. The greatest book ever. Oh, I'm so disappointed in all of you.
I want to say this because I'm curious as to what your take is on it, Boogie. I was talking to someone else who also watched it, and they said the same thing, that Kenzie's character was so unlikable and not redeemable. And I felt the same way about it.
In the comic or on the TV show?
On the TV show. I don't know how she was in the comic. I hope she wasn't that bad.
But I like the writing of her character because I don't want to spoil too much, but when you start talking about the head key and things you can take out and change your personality
getting the head.
As an actress.
Getting that head key.
In the comic, I
thought
in the comic, did she almost kill people because of her selfishness?
What do you mean? It's when you remove fear. Imagine removing fear from your life, and you have no fear.
No, I'm not talking about
Have you
that.
ever
I'm
done
talking
meth?
about when she takes the friends down to the caves.
But she had no fear, so she was leading the way because fear was removed from her life. She has no worry of the tide coming
Like
in.
bath salts.
Like the T-shirt company. No fear.
No.
Like bath salts.
Adam, is there anything you would like to talk about?
No, please continue. I'm gonna shut up. That line broke me. Like bath salts.
The show's amazing.
I'm gonna catch up on it. There's a lot to stream, dude. There's a lot going on.
Sure. And I kind of I find myself questioning, would I love this show as much if I hadn't read the comic?
Probably not.
And I don't think
Yeah.
so. I don't know that I would. But it's so like just tick for tack, like perfect with the comic that I love it, dude. And my wife loves it, and my kids love it. It's like it's awesome. No, it's awesome to see comics connecting with people. And even a friend of my wife was like, "Oh, have you heard about this new show on Netflix called Lock and Key?" And I'm like,
"Oh, let me run upstairs and get the comic."
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's awesome.
I'm so cool because I read the comic.
That's
It,
right.
had that,
but
it
it's
definitely
cool,
had
right,
that
damn it.
Harry Potter vibe to it.
The source material is the best material.
I felt
No,
like
that
Harry
is
Potter.
so great though. Introducing people for something that they didn't know was a comic. I love just introducing people to comics in general, just so that they understand it's like a medium where you don't know what's going to happen on the next page. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just constantly surprised. It has that potential to be like that, you know. So it's just a pretty cool format, man. I love comics. It's just so fun, and it's great to see people get into them.
I think I enjoyed binging the Police Academy movies more.
There you go.
Where's the manga of that, right?
Yeah, where's the Police Academy manga?
Last week he's like, Lock and Key's great, but not great enough to read the comics. Why would I do that?
Oh, now Boogie wants to talk about it. It's okay.
It's a
Lock and Key's just okay, Boogie.
Yeah.
Last
Dog
week,
days discount, man.
Yeah.
do you know what Police Academy
Still
had,
good.
and I think Lock and Key would be great at? They had an animated series. And I think Lock and Key, you could do an incredible animated series with that.
You're right. For sure.
Man, Bear Pig is here making his statement known.
Did
You ready to talk about some
thorn
comic
apple
books?
seeds, man? Don't get on them thorn apple seeds.
you guys have a good
Oh, are we
Valentine's
going to talk
Day?
about comics?
Oh, you want to talk
It was
about
all right.
Valentine's
I got
Day,
laid.
Jason?
I mean,
Is that what you want to talk about?
Yeah,
Did
I
you,
got bath
Jason?
salts for Valentine's
How'd that
Day. I got pink bath salts.
Jason, how was your Valentine's Day, bro?
I spent $300 on roses.
Oh my god!
Damn.
And then like $100 in like foreign candy and chocolate.
Dude,
What
do
is
you
wrong
know?
with you? How long have you been married?
Like
Is this to
5
keep you
years?
in the doghouse
Yeah.
for the entire
My
year?
wife and I argued for 10 minutes about where we were going to get drive-through. And then we sat around and watched old movies for the rest of the Friday night.
All we did was watch Lock and Key.
It was like
Jason, you
10:30, and I was
missed
like, "Oh, do you want a drink?" And she's like, "Yeah, let's drink." And I'm like, "Okay." And then we each had like a vodka and cran, and then went and
Passed
crashed early.
Jason
Drew
will learn one
Manchu
day.
said he's having a late Valentine's Day right now, so I guess he's taking his girl to see Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
No, he's going to take her to see Birds of Prey, the Emancipation Proclamation of
That's not
1972.
the title. That's not the title.
Sorry.
They changed the title, didn't they? To Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey now.
Yeah, Harley Quinn.
no
one knew what
way.
Birds of Prey
Birds of
were.
Prey.
Yeah.
They did it for
Shut
movie
up.
theater, marquees, and SEO on the internet, search engine optimization.
I mean, that was terrible advertisement. It's like, why name your movie Birds of Prey?
No,
one knows what
Venomized Ryan.
Birds of Prey is.
Before you put in $300, you have to hit that $sign first.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
that's
listen. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that.
that's a great
great.
that's a great band name, Gomer. Search engine optimization.
Search engine optimization.
The heaviest
But
industrial
all
band.
synth.
Yeah.
Nice. Will. Yeah, did you forgive me?
Man, how many records and comics could you have and variant covers could you have bought, Jason?
Listen to this guy trying to talk you out of love, dude. Don't let anyone define love for you. Okay,
Like, I was
Gaumer,
thinking
shut
about
up.
going- 'cause
Shut
I was
up,
thinking of
Gaumer.
saving up to go to the
$300 in flowers. Then
Quit
dude,
wasting
you go get
money,
your lady
Jason.
$300.
I know. I do waste
You
too
could have
much
bought
money.
these beautiful Fantastic Four action figures for way cheaper than that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I did get this for myself though. I got this creepy.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's
Oh,
Up and
creepy.
everything back there. Yeah, it's a San Julian cover. He's one of my favorite
Nice.
artists, but it's of Satan that he did. So I thought it was really cool. 9.2. One of my buddies is a 9.4. Slab Dragon, TJ Watson. We see him in the chat every now and then.
So you spent $5,000 on your wife and then had to buy yourself a present?
Yeah, I had to get myself something, man. Treat yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear
So,
you.
It doesn't
but
sound like
that
does not sound like a treat yourself.
I
I
treat,
might buy,
I treat
spend the
myself
$300
when
on
everything's
yourself.
50% off.
Right.
I
Yeah,
buy
I might-
myself a little chocolate heart thing at 50% off.
Comic
Bottle
Book
of
Bob
lotion.
says, Gomer, did you at least buy a large combo meal?
Actually, we ended up getting pizza delivered. Neither one of us wanted to leave
Oh,
the house.
nice.
When we talk about comic books,
All
this
right.
is not.
I'm such a romantic. They even
Mas-
said, "Do you want a heart-shaped pizza?" And I was like, "No."
Mastodon says
Yeah.
he's going out tomorrow for Valentine's. You going to see Sonic the Hedgehog, right?
This
Mastodon?
guy.
Give it them knuckles.
Yeah. I heard him and Tails do it at the end.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
You give them the knuckles and they'll give you the tails.
Alienated number
Wow.
one.
Let me change it to
Some
this.
Dr. Robotnik going on.
Oh my gosh, we've written a Sonic the Hedgehog porn parody.
What's the
they're
other
already
the
out
bad guy's
there.
name? Egghead?
Demonetized.
Okay,
Okay.
every once in a while there is a comic that comes out that just exemplifies how the comic book experience actually works. You know,
Wait, you're
most
talking
form-
about the wrong book. We're talking about Alienated.
I am. Most works of art,
yeah.
you know, are
Oh.
like there's a crowd experience, there's a group experience. You have a whole lot of people working together to do a thing. And the cool thing about comics is it's a very small group. So you can see how they're working together, you know, especially when you're reviewing a comic. Alienated #1, Boom Studios, Simon Spurrier wrote it. It was illustrated by Chris Wildgoose. Andre May was the colorist, and Jim Campbell was the letterer.
Jim. We've not talked about Jim in a while.
Yeah, well, he's been working his
Campbell.
ass off on Alienated.
Wow.
I just want to give a shout out to Bengal real quick. He does
Yeah,
the covers
that
for Death or Glory
Yeah.
and also the art inside Death or Glory. So I had to
Great
get that
art.
cover, that alternate variant. So
Love it. 3 schoolmates who aren't really mates at all, Samantha, Samuel, and Samir, all
The
find
same.
themselves by chance on the same backwoods shortcut on their way to school. And they happen upon this strange glowing object. They screw around with it, and they have this really weird, odd experience. Beautifully drawn, by the way, the moment they have that experience. And then they discover that they are all sharing each other's like thoughts in each other's heads. And they spend the entire school day like this as we learn about the characters more intimately, as they learn about each other, as they experience this phenomenon that they're experiencing. And then they go back to the object where like some alien is born, but not before Samuel accidentally kills the school bully with some self-defense thing that he got
was
from
great.
his alien superpowers. Anyway, big props to the letterer, Jim Campbell, because the letters in this book really helped push the story and let us in on the characters through their thoughts. And their thoughts are all given in different colors. Samuel's blue, Samantha is green, and
Green
then
and
Samir
red.
is red. Yeah. And that was very well done. Different size letters, you know, to have like when they're talking, when they're actually having words with each other, when they say things under their breath, so to speak, you know, during a conversation, that's kind of downplayed with the lettering. But that's really the crux of this debut issue. Everything, the writing, the pencils, the colors, the letters, the design, everything came together to equal more than the sum of those individual parts, and leaving us with a damn good comic book. Like I was saying, you can see how this team worked together to create something that, again, was greater than the sum of its parts. And dude, I love this. I thought it was great. Arguably the best thing I read this week, but we're going to talk about X-Men later. So
me too. It was just because it was, you don't see this way of storytelling very often. You know,
Yeah.
so I had a lot of fun reading it from their different viewpoints, and it kept going in a direction where I didn't think it would. Like I thought it would stop once all their memories got combined and we have like a more focused narrative of them just hanging out together. But then we got them going through classes separately and backgrounds through that. So it was a fun little fun adventure story, through their minds and landscape. I had a great time with it. I'm looking forward to issue 2 because I didn't expect to like this at all.
Yeah,
and then
me
I was
too.
like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty good. So
Yep.
Adam, what'd you think?
Oh no, that means Boogie hated it.
Why is he muted?
You're muted, Adam. Something's wrong
Oh.
with your audio.
I did that. You see,
I would
Cody.
love it if you would do
You
that
see,
when you
Cody.
go,
It happens to everybody.
when you start typing. I would love it if you would find that mute button when you did
Keyboard
that.
cat.
I've been doing that. I actually was muted because I burped.
I appreciate that. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
There you go.
You're welcome, Boogie.
But what did you think of this book?
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
What I thought of it, I thought.
Be honest.
I mean, it was. I mean, it was okay, but I'm definitely not getting out of it what Gaumer and Jason got out of it. I thought it was just whatever, and then when we got
Boring.
to the end,
Boring. Say it.
Boring. Oh my god.
I'll say. I mean, I would have to say boring because when I got to the end and you actually see the alien, I was disappointed. I was like, why couldn't I have gotten more of this?
You know what? I'm proud of you for getting to the end. I'm proud of you for getting to the end.
That's what she
Wow.
said.
Some of us didn't make it to the end.
Wow.
Is there
Sorry.
anything else you want to say, Adam?
Wow.
I don't think so. I'm sorry, Boogie.
No, I appreciate your opinion because for me, I'm getting less and less tolerant as this podcast goes along. I'm turning into Adam. If I'm 14 pages into a comic book and I'm bored to death and I'm just flipping through the pages, I'm quitting. I am no longer taking one for the team.
I was
This
like
book-
that with another book that was on our
This
assignment.
book bored me to tears. The
Wow.
characters were dull. There was nothing interesting. And
Tartarus.
I said, 14
Sorry.
pages in, I'm done with this book. What'd you say? Say it
He
again.
said Tartarus.
Tartarus.
I didn't even read that book because I saw
Oh my god.
I saw it was 15 pages. I said, I'm
Dude,
not reading
I got
this.
10 pages into Tartarus. I'm like, nope, not doing this. I
You
got
big old
60
nose.
pages,
Let's
like,
review
not
Tartarus
happening.
next because I'm shocked that
Dude.
the way that this book came together with the innovation and creativity that they did to
Yeah.
create a comic book isn't getting more props.
Where are you
From the reviewers.
Explain. I don't know. Do you want to get
I'm
more?
talking
'cause
about the way
I'm trying
the
to.
colors melded together to individualize the characters. I'm talking about how over the course of just
Oh,
28
God,
pages,
that's so
we
pathetic.
have the
You
premise.
matched colors to characters that
Did you
suck?
take a hit of
Good
acid?
no.
Because it was
Congratulations.
more than that. Because
Who cares?
it was more than that. We learned who these characters are.
What, on page 37?
No,
There's-
by,
no.
by
Sam.
halfway through the book, we're learning who they are, and then they're interacting with each other as they learn more about each other.
You're
I
talking
thought
about
it wasn't-
Alienated or Tartarus?
Do you know what it felt like? It felt like, when people are doing musicals and you got the one guy walking and then someone
And you're
comes in
bored to
behind him
death.
to the left and then someone comes in to the right behind him and they start all coming together. That's what it reminded me of. And then there was like a bully and then it's like this and that. And then towards the end, it's like, what a cool looking alien. Why couldn't I have gotten more of that?
There
Like,
are
at
too
least-
many good comic books for me to read 42 pages of story to try to hope something good happens. I'm glad you liked it, though.
No, I understand where you're at with the action. Yes, there wasn't a lot of action. It was very character driven, but the way they drove those characters is just innovative and unique to me. The way they did the coloring, the way each character had a color, and I think that deserves a whole lot of respect.
Are you
Like
talking
the
about
Mighty
Alienated or
Morphin Power
Tartarus?
Rangers?
When was the last time? No,
I
it's
love the
Power
Pink
Ranger.
Ranger.
It's not Power Rangers.
Yeah.
It's comic books trying something new, doing something unique, and telling a story from a character point of view. Sure, they could have the alien come out and bust some ass and kick some ass, and yeah, one of the dudes died, and that was a great moment in the book that Boogie didn't even make it to. But my problem is that what we need from our comics? Are comics to the point now where they have to be Avengers Endgame? They have to be punching and
I
kicking?
wa-
Just
the
because
whole
they do
damn
something
time.
different doesn't mean it's good.
But
I
I'm
don't- I
saying it
don't-
was good because of the the style
was
that they
told.
used,
Yeah,
the
I agree.
innovation, the way the story
Yeah.
was told,
Yeah.
it was character driven.
Mhm.
And I think there's a place for that in comics. And yeah, we can gauge everything by the action and adventure that's going on.
But you know me, dude.
Marvel
That's
and
not what I'm
DC.
gauging.
But
it
let me
on.
talk about our book of the week, where they could have actually had some heartfelt, poignant moments, and they took the cheap route out, the action adventure route that DC
That
and
book
Marvel
sucked
all.
too. That book sucked too.
It did. But I'm saying that book was trying to do something,
No.
that RIP book, and it failed. This book was trying to do something, and it succeeded in bounds. It was so the character-driven elements.
I'm not saying
were
this
perfect.
needed. I'm not saying this needed like action and fighting with the alien. I'm saying we needed more alien in the sense of I felt like this could have been. I wanted more of along the lines of like to throw back to some 80s movies or whatever, Short Circuit or batteries not included or something like something more with that alien and these kids.
It's probably
bringing them together.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be more like that in issue 2. That you gotta
so
hang out with the alien and teach them. I mean, it looks like the aliens on the backpack. You know that's coming. You know what I mean? It's gonna be part
That's
of
a hard sell, though, man.
It is a hard sell.
The thing is, like the characters, I thought in this alone, like were enough to get you going. You know, I didn't even need the robot or alien. It was just the characters' interaction.
I know so much about these characters, how they all want to change the world in their own unique
and it's
way,
called like
and
Alienated
don't know
because
how.
they all felt alone in their own way.
Yes.
Ninja Fingers says, "So you want a slow build? You know who's good at doing that? That's a Brian Michael Bendis.
That is, but this isn't a slow build because
I didn't think so
I
either.
know more about these characters than I knew about Naomi in 4 issues.
No doubt.
I do. I know everything about these characters. Samir, he's everybody's buddy, but he has no friend. I could tell you all about these characters.
If Bendis wrote this, you guys would hate it.
It wasn't slow. It wasn't slow
Bendis
at
has
all.
never
never
done character
and
development
I'm not
this
saying
well
creative
in
and
a single
telling a story.
issue.
I'm not saying that because
you hated it, but you hated it.
No, I didn't. I did not hate it. I was just not interested and just felt like
that's worse than hating it.
I was just. I mean, maybe you could call it bored for lack of better words, but I got to the end. I was like, well, this alien is cool. Why couldn't there been at least? I'm not saying through the whole book, but at least not the last page, like a quarter of it. Give me a little bit of something.
It goes back for me saying there are so many freaking good comic books that if I read a book and 14 pages in, I am bored to death. I don't need to waste my time and money on it.
And that's fair. I thought,
but if you guys loved it, that's cool, man.
I thought the way that they developed 3 characters, 3 uniquely different characters who are compelling. By the end of the first issue, by the end of this debut, I want to know more about these characters and how they're going to interact moving forward. Yeah, and plus the way they did it was again unique and innovative. You don't see comics do stuff like this.
Agreed.
And I love it.
The kill lock.
We get more red text on black word balloons over there on Batman Who Laughs, though. I gotta get
Peter Cimetti,
I gotta get my glasses out.
Peter Cimetti ripped some letters apart on Twitter this week talking about that.
He should read Alienated because if he's a letter snob like me, yeah, dude, this is Jim Campbell. But if we should do best letterer for the end of the year because Jim Campbell's got an early vote.
Jim Campbell.
Can we move on? Even though I'm not going to talk about this next book. Can we move
on? I apologize for the sniffing.
Let's move on. I'm with you, dude. I can barely talk. It's okay. We'll get through it together.
All right. Shut the hell up.
We're getting some.
Jason's gone. He's
this should be. Although this was a pretty lengthy, thick book. This should be quick. Tartarus #1, written by Johnny Christmas. I love that name. Art by Jack T. Cole, and letters by Jim Campbell.
Oh wow! Again, thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim. Oh,
the dude's. He's a workhorse. He's a hoss. So
letters everywhere.
Letters. A letter. He's gonna letter.
He eats alphabet soup for lunch
and cereal for breakfast.
Alphabets.
So this issue 1 consists of. It's got 2 acts, below and above. The below act takes us through an epic jailbreak of a ex-warlord named Circa from an underground maximum security prison on Tartarus, and reuniting with her child, Tildy, I guess is how you pronounce that. The second act, called Above, takes place 17 years later and is following Tildy, who is a cadet at a military academy, but she doesn't know about her true parentage with this ex-warlord. And then all hell breaks loose.
Basically.
There is quite a bit in this book, but that pretty much sums up what happens. The art is very, I don't want to say interesting, but that's the only word coming to mind. Some of it was excellent. Like, you got some cool panels of Tildy holding a flaming sword. And then some of it was
Circa.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, in the second part, yeah. And then some of it just felt like it was a bit difficult to understand what was going on. I had no idea what was going on in this, dude.
But there's a lot packed into this one issue, and they can pretty much go any route they want to go with these characters. But aside from that, am I interested in seeing what happens with Tildy next? Not really.
The first 20 pages of this made me want to read an actual Prison Break comic book, and then it ended, and I was like, well, that was, I don't know. It felt like it was going at breakneck speed, but it felt also like it skipped a lot of the parts that you should know about a Prison Break. Like, how did she even get out? She was, if you look at the map, she's like all the way at the bottom. But then
they did that. It looked like some kind of, I don't know if like an elevator or some kind of gimmick that they wrote up and they took off.
Well, that was after she was already out of her cell, though. After they wrote.
Oh, you're saying how did she get out of the pit?
Yeah, how'd she get out of the pit?
That I don't know.
Exactly. It felt like there were pieces missing from this jailbreak story, and yeah, I was not a fan of this. The art was cool. I didn't mind the art, like the rough, grainy, sort of rugged feeling.
Yeah, it reminded me of some of like 90s independent comics that had those that were not for kids. That were I mean, there was a lot. You got some maps and some stuff there at the beginning, which was helpful.
I liked it was more of a schematic.
Yeah, schematic
of the prison that is already gone now. And what about the prison? When she breaks out of the prison and all of her and her hoods are up at the top, they're like in the middle of a shopping mall or something. Like there's a bunch of citizens around.
Yeah.
Why? Why? They built the shopping mall above the prison. I don't know.
And the fact that I guess the roof is paper thin, so this thing can just
Boogie. Show off mine.
But it's it is what it is. I don't have any urge to pick up issue 2, but I can say what they're trying to, all the information they're throwing at you is ambitious.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't care for it, but I liked Alienated, so I'm a.
We ready to move on?
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's talk about a book that was actually good.
Right.
Hawkeye Freefall, number 3, written by
Matthew didn't read
Rosenberg. We know that. Art by Otto Schmidt, letters by VC's Joe Sabino.
More like Sabine. Yes. Killing it.
Dude, lots been going on in this book, the first couple of issues with Clint and the Hood. But the main question, what we were all asking, is who is Ronan? And I still like Jason's idea better. Jason, I wish he would have listened to Jason. Kate Bishop as Ronan would have been. I'm sure a lot of people would have been pissed and hated on it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
I would have loved it. I would have loved
it.
That.
For like an arc or two, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's better. He's doing like Hermione did in Harry Potter.
Would have been so cool.
He's got anyway, like a time turner.
The end of issue 2, it's revealed that Clint himself is donning the old Ronin suit. But how is this happening? It's a time machine. Marty McFly style. Really?
My reference was better.
Yeah.
My reference was better.
Really? Time travel answers all. This device that Clint has sends you forward in time an hour and then returns you like a boomerang. Whatever, it's fine.
That's how the time turner works.
I don't even care about that because this issue, like, it was so much fun, dude. It's just fun. That's the best way to describe it. If you like Rosenberg, you're gonna dig it. If you don't like him, you're gonna hate it, and that's fine. We get a naked version, naked robot Clint. It's freaking hilarious. I love the inner dialogue.
The Hawkeye with the mask
over his butt.
I love when Clint is just talking and he's like, yes, no, no, yes. I love the inner dialogue.
The inner and outer dialogue, yeah.
It's just fun, dude. That's the best way to describe it. There's
a Joker movie reference in this.
I said
that.
I didn't catch the Joker reference.
Yeah.
What was it?
He's talking to the dude in the chair about, and then he kills like these 3 guys on a train, and then it goes from there. And he's like, I torrented it from. He's like,
yeah. I started to screen capture that and be like, Gaumer, don't pirate comics.
And then when they're moving the LMD, the Hawkeye LMD up the steps, that's a Friends reference when they're moving the couch in that episode. I don't even watch Friends, but that is a Friends reference. And I'm just saying, Friends right now is like all the rage with the younger generation,
Is
streaming. It is. You're not in the loop. You're an old man. But that's what I'm saying about this book. It feels fresh, like Matthew Rosenberg has his fingers on the pulse of what's going on right now, and this plays out like an action comedy, and it's perfect. It's a wonderful book.
I like Matthew Rosenberg, but I said going into this, what if I got a more serious version of Clint? And this isn't that.
I don't want.
And he still brought me back in, dude, because I love Matthew Rosenberg. It's funny. It's just. But at the end, though, is it going to get a little more serious with talking about human trafficking and Daredevil shows up? There's still going to be that humor vibe, but I don't know, man.
Rosenberg is going to pull in real life stuff because he can, because of the comedy. You know what I mean? It's easier for him, especially working at Marvel and DC, to push in some of that, for lack of a better term, pro-society agenda, bringing awareness to certain things. And sure, it's sugar-coated because it's a comic book at Marvel and DC, but there was absolutely no reason for him to mention human trafficking in this. But he does it and he gets away with it, and it comes off as, okay, because he mixes it in with comedy. And I think it's a good idea. I think it works. I think this might work better moving forward now that he's cemented that Clint is Ronin. Because you'll notice it gets dark when he's Ronin. He was Ronin when he's breaking into a place and talking about murdering a guy and not moving furniture around with some, dude, some sidekick now that he stole from the bad guys. He's dealing with human trafficking. And then you're right, Daredevil shows up. But
Venomized Ron says he didn't love his Punisher, but he enjoyed this. I got to ask you, did you read all of his Punisher or just the War Machine arc? I liked both. But the book changed when Simon Kudranski. Yeah, the book changed, dude. If you didn't make it to that arc, I highly recommend it. Jason, what do you think of Hawkeye?
Oh, I loved it. I had a good time. I mean, I think it's great that Hawkeye is, it's full of levity, pretty funny and action oriented as well. But, I think you're right. Rosenberg has the potential to drop in some serious drama, and have more of an impact, that way because it's so comedic right now. So you'll feel the lower lows, when they hit. So I think it's great. It's a great adventure. I've been having a great ride through it. I read issue 2 and 3 today because I had to catch up. So I'm glad this was on the poll.
Night Nurse,
it's well worth it. Yeah, and
Night Nurse is she's gonna get hurt. The Hood's gonna kidnap her by the end of this, right?
Probably.
I mean, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
The Hood is gonna find out that Ronin is screwing with him and that Ronin is Hawkeye, and then he's gonna send somebody after Night Nurse. That's exactly where it's leaning.
I put my notes.
That's gonna hurt me because she's awesome, dude. She's great in this.
Yeah, she's great. And when Naked Clint was there and she comes, that was also funny.
It's so funny, dude.
But I take notes as I'm reading the book, and I put this is funny beginning to end. And then when I read the end, I was like, I can't put that in my notes. I got to change that because it does get more serious at the end.
That reveal at the end with Daredevil, I was like, wow, because Daredevil knows who he is just because he can't see.
It seems like everybody knows who he is. Yeah. Except dudes who were formerly Captains America. They have no clue, those idiots. But whatever.
I just hope they let Rosenberg run with this because the way he talked on our show, he expects it to end. We expect it to end. You put that tag on the end, Freefall. You expect 6 to 12 issues.
I think it's
and
6.
That sucks.
I think it's just 6.
Have they even announced it though?
I don't probably expand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's already been announced.
We need a Hawkeye book, man. We need an ongoing.
I think
Hawkeye
he writes
book.
a great Spider-Man too. His Peter Parker, the way he captures his voice is really good.
Yeah. I think this is only going to be 6, but you know how they are. They'll push out another book if they want.
But are people buying it? That's the question.
Yeah,
that's the question.
I mean, I'm loving it. So
yeah, I'm buying
it up because I said so. Yeah, it looks like it's only 5 issues.
Of course it is. Let's get into some random reviews presented by SpinWiz Comics, our latest sponsor. You can check them out, spinwizcomics.com. They are a distribution platform for indie content, and their goal is to allow readers to discover great content and for publishers to gain awareness and grow a bigger fan base. They are currently in the process of creating an app and also setting up a print on demand service. So check them out, spinwizcomics.com. Shout out to Jonathan Hedrick, one of the first people we ever saw wearing the ComicCast shirt in public at a comic book signing. His book Zombie Princess is now available on SpinWiz Comics. So that's cool. That's cool. So check it out. Check them out. What's on Gaumer's pile?
I'll start. Terrifics number 25. Gene Lewin.
Choose your own adventure book, dude. That's
so
awesome.
Wait, let me say this before you go into it. We were talking about this at Dwayne's Wednesday, how crazy it is. It's the only book left from the New Age of Heroes or whatever.
Yeah.
The only one left.
And it actually started after the Sideways and those other ones, Silencer, after it started.
I mean, Jeff Lemire started it, right?
Jeff Lemire started it. I was off the series when Lemire left. Dan Moore did the art too, by the way. But I couldn't resist this. A choose your own adventure comic. This one was just okay. It pulled off the gimmick all right, but not in like an extraordinary way. If you're going to do a gimmick, you got to really pull it off with something special. Relic of the Dragon is an IDW book from 2 or 3 years ago. Adrian Benatar and Miguel Angel Garcia. That is a choose your own adventure comic that is worth your money. It's incredibly good. X-Men number 6. All the X books were good this week. Jonathan Hickman, Matteo Buffagni. Hickman doing what he does best, serving the fruits from the seeds he planted back in House of X and using them to build things yet to come. This is all about Mystique. She had a special mission when they went to that Orcus satellite, and it was planting a gateway plant. So now they know that the gateway plant's there, but she wants her old lady back.
Destiny, right?
They don't want Destiny back because if they can't have any psychics, they can't have any precogs. Anybody who can read the future is a no-go. So Xavier and her are starting to play this game, and it was great. They flashed back. Destiny actually told her that all this was going to happen. And so Mystique might be the chink in the armor that is, the mutant utopia that we're seeing now because
she said burn it all down.
She's going to burn it all down. You know what? I don't think Xavier's that stupid and naive. It's going to take a little bit more than Mystique to bring him down.
Good point.
I'm just saying, okay? He's a badass, and he's really showing it. So, but still, man, what a great issue. Hickman just laying it on thick the way he does it. I love it.
I read X-Men last week's, and then I read this one.
Yes.
It's like 2 different storylines, but geez, they're just building such a world.
X-Force, Gaumer, that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it when I read it this week because Gail Simone writing Domino, and it was funny, and it created laughs. Compare these 2 books.
She's tragic.
It's so different,
She's
man.
tragic in X-Force.
This X-Force book is so... I think I like it more than the main X-Men title. It's better both.
It's better than the main X-Men title because the main X-Men title jumps all over the place. It doesn't tell an arc. X-Force, it's telling an arc. It's not doing it in the traditional way. We're really just getting a single focus on an individual character right now. And this issue 7, was it X-Force 7? All about Domino and her trying to track down this new assassin who's like the anti-Domino who stole her power. Somehow, some way. I don't know. That was weird. But Beast is my hero in this. Him going to Forge and having Forge create spyware. That's literal Krakoan spyware that can go anywhere. The White House, Avengers Mountain. And that's going to be huge for whatever event they've got planned, later this year.
Laz
So
is
ready for
here
that.
hanging out. I'm glad to see Laz hanging out, and you showed up just in time because I'm dropping a free digital code for X-Men number 6.
And then he's gonna leave. Then he's gonna leave.
Yeah, he's gone. He's a free Comic Friday guy. But I'm glad to see him hanging out in the chat. Yule says Gil is overrated. I agree.
I've loved a lot of what Gail Simone has done. She's more now like a voice in the industry than she is like a solid creator. I like
by voice,
Domino.
she means she runs her mouth.
But that's fine. That's fine. Everybody runs their mouth.
In an annoying way.
Well, whatever.
I got
Venom
some
23.
books.
Venom 23.
You got more. Go.
Donnie Cates, Mark Bagley. A pretty good issue. Eddie mentioned Thor in here because of course he did.
Yeah.
Because Donnie freaking Cates.
Do I need to mute Gomer?
I'm just saying, there was absolutely no reason to mention Thor in this comic except that Donnie freaking Cates is writing it. So whatever. No more Donnie Cates, y'all. It's now Donnie freaking Cates. Whatever.
I got a narrative going with the live chat. Gil is overrated. Agree, Yule. How dare you?
Yeah. People at Marvel are like, my book's not doing well, and Donnie's like, it'll help it if you put Null in there.
Put Null in there.
Yeah,
but a lot happened in this. A lot happened in this issue of Venom. It was quite good.
Hey, Big Frank asked, I'm late. Have you guys talked about Capullo and Snyder? We didn't talk about that.
I know Death Metal. We don't really know much about it except.
But are you excited about it?
Hell yes, I am.
Are you?
I'm excited.
I loved Metal. I used to sleep with those books next to my nightstand because I used to just thumb through them.
I gave mine to a listener when we hit 1,000 subscribers. I shipped them off.
As ridiculous as Metal is as a concept and stuff, like I loved it. That's what got me back into comic books was Metal and Doomsday Clock. Nice. Those are the first two titles I was buying and like since I was a kid. Like that happened.
Wow, really?
Yeah, those got me back into comics, and from then on, I was like, okay, well now I got to catch up. What's happening in the DC world? Okay, what's happening in Marvel world? That's why I started watching Comics Explained and got like the lowdown, and then Comic Story and all the other big comic channels to get reviews and the synopsis of the history of comic book characters. So I got caught up like right away. And then, now I started my own thing doing the exact opposite.
Then you showed up in the ComicCast chat.
Yeah,
then
dude.
you got a seat. And
because of Metal and Doomsday Clock. And so I'm
hoping Death Metal is like the cherry on top of everything that they've had going on. It's
do you think it's crap that they said that Snyder's last story was Last Night on Earth and then they come back with this?
He said it was no, because that's not what they said. He said it was his last Batman story. He said it was going to be his last Batman story.
Okay.
Have you not seen the things for this? It's like Death Metal is a Justice League story.
Don't yell at me, Gomer.
Death Metal, I'm just talking over you.
Okay.
Death Metal is a Justice League story, and this is going to top off his Justice League run that just wrapped. That was one of my favorite Justice League runs.
Great.
Oh my gosh.
But where can they go with Metal? I thought it was all done.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. We know nothing.
Find out.
We know so very little. And that's a good thing. I don't want to know. I want to be
get under them cow teats.
And not really. Really, what they're doing in this case is not milking a story. They're milking a creative team. And the creative team wants to do this story. That, I think, is a little bit better than saying, okay, we need, another Cosmic Ghost Rider story. Just give it to anybody. So Cosmic Ghost Rider is on the shelves because he's such a high-profile character. The Deadpool book we read, it was trash. Why is it out there? Because there has to be a Deadpool book out there. There doesn't have to be a Metal book out there. It belongs to Snyder and Capullo, and if they're going to do it, yes, please, whatever. Either way.
As long as they roll out the gimmick covers.
Oh, I'm all over those gimmick covers.
Yeah, me too, man.
I can't wait.
I love the foil covers.
Yeah, me too, man.
The embossment on it, dude.
Yes.
Metal was such like a great transition for me as like a metalhead into comics. You know what I mean?
Did you read Murder Falcon, dude?
No.
How did you not read that?
You need to read Murder Falcon. Eli loves that book, and he is the biggest metal dude that I know.
But it's like that's also more of like a thrash, like Iron Maiden classic metal.
It goes all over the place.
Yeah,
it goes all over different genres.
I'll check it out. But like,
it's pretty rad, dude.
I'm super. I think those characters that we've seen so far, the Superman with the dark side arm and the knuckles, the Wonder Woman with a chainsaw, and the Batman on like a motorcycle looking like Meatloaf.
Love it.
Cover,
love it.
Like I think
favorite.
I
love Meatloaf.
Bad out of hell. Really?
Yeah.
Are we going bad out of hell? Meatloaf?
Yeah, exactly. But I think
we should go there every episode. I love that.
I don't think those are like our versions. I think there's like the ones they're gonna have to fight is those three characters. So I'm excited to see what it's all about. Man.
What I think is happening, and we'll find out with Year Arisen, is the Batman who laughs Justice League, his Dark Justice League,
Mhm.
is going to end up taking over instead of Apex Lex. Perpetua may still be around, but it's all going to be the Batman Who Laughs and his Justice League in charge, and our Justice League, who's now in some pocket dimension at the end of the Snyder run over there. They're going to have to become these death metal Justice League in order to kick some ass. I just want to see the rest of the death metal Justice League, dude.
I just want to see more Red Death, and
I don't think they're coming back.
No, but he said before, like,
I don't know.
Who knows? That always changes. You know what I mean? So
right.
back then he says he's bringing back Red Death, and I always call the other character Gold Life when he was redeemed and was a good guy. He's all gold. That was still to this day like the best like Flash Batman design ever. It's so.
I love it too.
I love Red Death.
Yeah. I'm stoked for it though, man. It's gonna be rad. It's gonna be rad. But it's got to connect. It's got to follow through.
It's gonna be great.
It's got to follow through.
It's gonna be great. We all know it's gonna be great.
I don't know that.
Adam will hate it. We'll love it.
Proof will be in the pudding.
When they do the animated series, we'll ask you about it.
They haven't done an animated series yet for the original.
They got that Red Sun dropping soon. That looks cool.
That's gonna be good.
We still got 18 people hanging out in the live chat. A lot of people coming in, a lot of people leaving. Make sure you guys smash the like button. If we would appreciate that.
What else did we read?
I just got a couple of books, and Thor #3. Did you guys read it? It was okay.
Nope, I'm done.
Did you read it, Jason?
Yeah.
Did you dislike it? Like it?
No, I think issue 2 for me is the better one. This one was still pretty good though. I didn't hate it like issue 1.
I thought the opening was amazing. The close-up of the hammer, the artwork, great writing. But then for me, it went downhill. It was a whole lot of Beta Ray Bill going, Thor, you're a bad person. And Thor going, I'm a good person. And Beta Ray Bill going, you're a bad person. And then it finally led to some fighting and the cliffhanger. And
it was a filler.
I thought it was – yeah, I didn't
And then it seems like it's going to happen again next issue with Sif. So it's like, okay, well, can we just move on?
Probably going to be the same thing. Yeah, I agree.
It happened like in one panel or one page, and just instead it lasts a whole entire issue, and it was really short. I
thought the first issue was good, second issue was great, and then this I didn't like this issue. Postal Deliverance #7.
Nice.
This is some spoilery stuff, and I'm gonna say it. Mark was stabbed last issue. He's in the hospital. He's recovering. And he turns the title of mayor back over to his mom. The baby has been kidnapped. A killer is on the loose. This is the best freaking comic book Brian Hill writes. And if you're reading other Brian Hill stuff and you're like, oh, this is great, and you don't know what Postal is, you're screwing up, because this is the best thing that he writes. The complete hardcover drops in April. Do yourself a favor. Go buy it, because this book is – I'm so glad I'm so happy when I read it, man. It is
He's
so
done, though,
dark.
now, isn't he?
You had me at Stolen Baby.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's
He's
good,
done.
dude. Go read Postal. Jason, buy the hardcover in April. You will love it, dude. It's so...
I believe it.
Oh, my God.
I read that.
I got it in issues, bro.
Postal, and I loved it. So I was like, oh, geez, I got to...
It's so good. It's so good. So good.
I read Flash, and that was really cool. They introduced the new villain Paradox, and so that was cool. You get his background story, and it's
another new villain.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what Paradox does, because I feel like Flash always goes through lulls, whereas it's pretty boring, and he kind of spinning his wheels all the time. But this is kind of going in a direction in how Flash War and other things. Flash Year 1 kind of meant something now, so it's a good direction for Flash than what it's been. So
does anybody still watch the Flash CW show? Adam, do you still watch it?
Catch up on those. I want to see the
Godspeed. Godspeed was in it, dude. Which
one episode that was really good, man.
Made me want to go back and watch it, because I love that arc from Williamson.
That was a great episode.
I just watch catch up videos as to what's going on. I don't really watch the shows.
It's Godspeed and Paradox. Their team up together against Flash. So pretty cool.
Godspeed's a great character.
He's cool, but he's just another speedster.
Gummer, are you reading Kylo Ren?
No, I'm not.
And he's gone.
Well, then the F with you, Gomer.
Jason,
Kylo Ren hater.
Yeah,
empty chair emoji is coming soon.
Yeah. I know. I got to deal with my dogs and it being cold outside and keeping an eye on them.
That's a good point, Yul. But they're all speedsters, bro. They're all the same villain.
I don't think Paradox is a speedster, but he does.
What is he? What does he do?
It's like
I don't know. Is it too on the nose? I don't know. I don't know the villain, but I mean, is it like, because speedsters create paradoxes? and now you have a villain named what a speedster.
Especially that Flash speedster. He's
this guy he's like a conspiracy theorist kind of, and he has a family and stuff. And his wife is like, oh yeah, don't get too lost in your theories or whatever. It's like, well, it's not a theory. It's true. And he goes up to his basement and it shows his little office, his little lab, and on the wall there's posters. Like one of them is like the Gotham Bats, rumor, whatever. It's kind of like it's almost
it's like always.
It's just like, oh, are we alone? It shows like the spacecraft of Clark Kent, Superman's spacecraft, and another one's like, oh, Mystery Island. It shows Themyscira, so it's pretty cool seeing these little.
But we know all that stuff is.
So once Barry went to the past, whatever, this guy disappeared and his family stayed. And then once you finally got back to them, he transformed into a monster, and they're like, "Oh, get away from us!" And he's just went back into disappearing in the time zone, and it's the whole thing. But it's fun, it's interesting than what it's been. So Flash is going in a good direction, in my opinion.
Yeah, there were some other characters. You're right.
Did anybody read Superman Heroes?
I almost got it. I was this close to grabbing it off the shelf.
That's the KKK comic, right?
Can't do it. No.
Oh.
I read Superman this week, and it's soaked.
What happened? Tell me.
So
dude,
glad I jumped off Superman.
Nothing happened in his book.
Brian Michael Bendis wrote it. That's what happened.
It was nothing. Dude, I almost sent you guys a picture of it. I turned the page. It's a 2-page layout, and there are 8,000 words on those 2 pages. And I started to take a picture and send it to you guys and say, would you read this if you turn the page?
I bet all the words meant nothing too.
You know me, man. You know me. I defend Bendis. I love Superman. I feel like Jason talks all the time about, I feel like I need to read this character. I am so close to dropping Superman.
You should. You're a glutton for punishment, man.
I am.
Do it.
You are.
Do it.
It's bad, dude. I'll stick with Action Comics and just drop Superman. It's so bad.
Nope.
Ugh.
Yeah. I think that's all I read.
Adam, did you read anything?
This is fun.
Oh, I did not read that. I should have read that.
Yeah, this is still being fun. Fun book.
This is still being
between
fun
the two Earths. I wouldn't say it's like tremendous, but I still like it. I enjoy it. At this point, it's just a fun comic. And then I guess we got a little of this. Who read this?
Nope.
I didn't. No.
I gave the free digital code out earlier.
Yep. We got more of this Marvel's world. We get. It turns out the truck driver with the tattoos is actually Johnny, the Ghost Rider. I just blanked on the last name, which is terrible. Blaze. It's Johnny Blaze, and they bring in Daredevil and Peter Parker Spider-Man, who's kind of like humglum because I guess Mary Jane is killed in this world, but we get May Parker. We see the daughters, so
Mayday.
May. So I mean, it's still fun. I love Marvels, and we got the upcoming Marvels books that'll be coming out, and I like that world, so I'll be jumping on that.
The live chat wants Adam to drink root beer, but he doesn't do that unless you guys do super chats. No,
it's empty. I already drank it all. I drank it all
in there. Go put some water in there.
He will drink anything if you guys do super chats. Let's get into the outright geekery. Book of the week.
Oh shoot.
OutrightGeekery.com, your one-stop shop for news, reviews, previews, podcasts, everything geek at your fingertips. You can hear people say, welcome back to the Cowboy Bullies. I'm your boy Leroy with the AKA the Black Superman.
Black Superman.
Check them out. Back. Geek Sabs, Comic Book Bullies, all kinds of great podcasts. OutrightGeekery.com. Check them out.
Penny for your thoughts?
Book of the week, Batman Pennyworth.
Is this Jason doing this one?
It's me. Yeah, dude. Written by James Dean the Fourth and Peter Tomasi. What a great combo, dude. That's awesome. What's up?
I was laughing at him saying, thank goodness it's Jason.
Art by Eddie Barrows and Eber Ferreira. Chris Burnham, Marcio Takara, Diogenes Neves, David Lefuente, and Sumit Kumar. Colors by Adriano Lucas, Rex Locus, and Nathan Fairbairn. Oh, I guess lettered by Travis Lanham.
Travis Lanham.
Thank you.
Thank you,
and
Travis.
Tom Napolitano. Cool.
Lay it down.
That's the whole cast.
Laying
This
down
was,
the
Yeah,
iron hammer.
it takes a village.
it takes a village for the story, man. But what a great combo. What a great team. Tinian and Tomasi together. I think two of DC's best writers right now, doing their thing and teaming up for this. And I think they did a good job of what I guess catching everyone up of what the dynamic of the Bat family is right now, currently, the situation of them. I think all the characters are a little hard on Bruce. I think they're very misunderstanding and not comforting at all. They're a bunch of assholes, in my opinion.
What,
dude?
You don't agree with that?
No, they were
sorry
assholes.
for-
They were assholes to Damien at one point,
Oh,
but at one
yeah,
point they were
dude.
like,
All they did was
"Bruce, you
beat
were on
down
vacation
Bruce.
when Alfred died," and he was like, he didn't say a damn
Oh,
word.
they beat
They're
him down
right.
the whole
He was
issue.
chilling on a beach with his
Yeah.
hoe when his old
Yeah.
man got murdered.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah,
kidding
totally.
me?
If you go on
Yeah.
Are you
vacation
kidding
with
me?
your
Bruce
wife and your
needs to
dad
be
dies,
right.
you're
Oh,
full.
whatever.
Oh
Whatever.
my gosh!
Yeah,
God,
you're right.
If this is ever part of a trade, that needs to be Gomer's quote on the
The
back.
blurb.
Down on the beach
You're
with
on the
some
beach with
hoe.
your hoe. You're
Oh
right,
my
dude.
gosh.
But it's like they totally slams. I think Tom King's run, which is so true. It's like, where were you, man? You were on the beach.
Yeah.
Like it's
Kicking
so
it with your
dumb.
old lady in disguise.
Yeah.
While
It's not Bruce's fault.
It's Tom King's
Oh, it's
fault.
not Damien's fault either, but they sure as hell let him leave the bar thinking it was. Oh man, that went
Dude,
all through
Jason
me, dude.
Todd just totally slams Damien, though. He's like, not everybody listened. I wasn't around because they said they were going to kill Alfred if they came in. And he points to Damien, and, he's like, yeah, it's my fault. Like, I felt sorry for Damien hardcore in this issue. But then again, he's running. He has a Guantanamo Bay jail cell in the Teen Titans, so it's
Well,
like,
still,
what kind of Damien is this?
his dad left him with his stepmother to
Mhm.
go to the islands and left the ninja boy at home alone. What the hell did Bruce think his ninja boy home alone was
Always
going to
Bruce's
do?
fault.
Oh, that
It
should
is
be a
Bruce's
movie.
fault. He's a delinquent parent. He deserves to be locked
True.
up. I thought I was a bad parent.
Dude,
Are you kidding me?
He doesn't beat his kids like you do.
Well, maybe if he did beat Damien wouldn't have ran off and gotten his dad murdered, his granddaddy murdered. Okay. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
he should have went after Damien, though. Like, Batwoman or Batgirl was right, saying,
Yeah.
Can I sum this all up in one sentence?
Go ahead, Boogie.
It just confirms that Tom King can't write Batman.
exactly.
That's it.
yeah, he ruins continuity, and they're like, you ruined everything.
How many books have come out about Alfred? Right? We got
Yeah.
was it the Batman annual, or was it Detective Comics, or maybe
Right,
both?
Detective Comics
It was
issue,
both.
I
There
think
were
it was.
two.
Yeah.
There were
And
two
now
different ones.
this, it's like talking about how great Alfred is and how Alfred keeps everything in check. He keeps the Bat family working. He keeps Bruce working, but yet let's kill him off. How long till he's back? How long?
All right, no.
Oh, yeah.
He's
He's
going to
back
stay
soon.
gone for a while. I didn't have the same problem that you did with it, Boogie. I'm okay if they want to kill off a character. It's comics. But let's explore this book, this issue, especially the way it started off with they're all at this memorial that they're setting up. This book was supposed to be a deep exploration of what Alfred meant to the individual members of the Bat family and how they are going to react moving forward. And it wasn't that. It was a freaking pity party where all they did was whine about how everybody else was so damn more terrible than they were
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Alfred's dead. That's not what this should have been, dude. I want my
You
Bat
know what
family
this should
not
have
at
been?
at each other's throats.
It should
I
have been
want-
the Father's Day episode or issue that came out that
good
we all
call.
love.
Right?
Yeah, dude.
That's all we need. We don't need this. We just
Right.
need that. Talking about how great Alfred was.
Yeah, this was
nothing
terrible.
but-
This was almost like
and I love both writers. That's
Sure.
the
Me too.
problem.
this was almost like you want to see how terrible the Bat family is without Alfred because here they are.
Mhm.
And if
Right.
that's what they're going for,
Then why
bravo.
did we kill him?
Right,
You did
agree.
a
Why did
great
we
job.
kill him?
Right.
But what the heck? It was such a
To
Debbie
create
Downer.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
This
it
is
was
the
a huge
number
Debbie
one
Downer.
question I want to know that you'll just ask. How do you bring Alfred back and why?
Dude,
You
we
know
got the
he's coming
crisis
back.
coming up, dude. We got that.
Well, you
5
see, there's a
crisis coming
mutant
up. He's
called
coming back for no
Goldball.
reason.
Exactly.
Well, Venomized Ron said he's going to show up on Krakoa. So.
Yeah, the Krakoan
Oh,
pods. There you
yeah.
go. Professor Xavier will bring him back.
See, me
I
and
know,
Ben
Marvel
I
and
agree.
Ryan are on the same page.
I agree with Jason. They don't have to bring him back. He's already back. They just have to combine the multiverses in a way
Yeah.
where he's actually joined up.
You know
You
it's
can
gonna
roll
happen,
your
man.
eyes all you want. That's how they're going to
It's-
do it.
oh, I-
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I'll
that's
be
how they're
happy
gonna do
when
it.
he's back because he should have never died in the first
My
place.
thing
Yeah.
about it is, I'm okay with him dying, but if you're going to explore the character and the aftermath of his death, it shouldn't be this nonsense.
Father's Day issue.
Because this was terrible.
You
I
summed it
hated
up in a
this.
sentence,
I didn't hate this.
Boogie.
I liked
I'll
it.
sum it up in a word: unnecessary.
Yep,
And
that's exactly what this issue was.
I wanted this to be necessary. That's my problem.
I
I
do
wanted
think it was-
this
I
to
think-
be.
I do think it was necessary, though. It was necessary to know what the family is like right now. You know, most people don't know because they're not reading all the different Batman titles or Batgirl or Red Hood or like Nightwing. But this summarizes it all in one book of how what the relationships are. And like,
but
yeah,
they weren't friendly in those. After the fallout of the Monster City and all that shit with Clayface and Detective Comics, they were all broken up anyway. They weren't really hanging out the right way.
How did you feel when you read the Father's Day issue? How did you feel?
It was heartfelt. It felt
okay. Now, how did you feel when you read this?
I felt like it was a waste of my time.
They're a bunch of assholes, like Gomer said.
Yeah, be Batwoman especially. Why don't you just feel anything and overreact and knock everything off the table? Like, what are you doing, you psycho?
She should just yell, "I'm not crazy."
Yeah,
and that's what it felt like to me. It felt tropey, dude. If anything, she should be the voice of reason in this.
No, everybody. But you said Rick Grayson is, Dick Grayson used to be the voice of reason to bring everyone back, and they wouldn't have left if he would have been different. But instead, he's Rick Grayson. He has no invested interest in any of this. So they also went away after their story, But if he would have not got shot in the head, if Tom King didn't ruin him,
dude.
But I think they nailed that. I think they were totally going for that of what's been going wrong in the whole entire Batman continuity. And now they're like, okay, well, Tanyan's writing Batman. Tomas is on Detective. I think he's going to go a different route now, I think. And hopefully they can repair that if even just for a little bit or keep up with this trash, I guess, the way their family is now.
It only matters
a week until 100 until it gets rebooted again.
But it only matters if they're going to have drama between the individual members of the family. And my problem with that is they already had that.
Yeah.
And whenever they were meeting up in their individual books, they would talk about this fallout. They were mad at each other. They didn't, they weren't hanging out the way they were.
Which I was surprised that Batwoman was on patrol with Catwoman and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Look over the city while they're at the funeral.
It just
before at the end of
Detective, more bad people than what was in this book.
Sure. The Signal too. The Signal was there. We haven't seen him.
But I think it was just people that lived in the house.
It was the family,
right? The true family.
Oh, they don't allow Duke. I'm sure there's a room Duke could sleep in. They don't give him a room. What's up?
Well, Duke was there in this issue.
Alfred's dead. Now there's a room.
Right.
Now.
But you know who we
right? Wow.
You know who we haven't seen though? We have not seen Batwing, who's going to be the new Batman. He's the only one that's been missing for the longest time.
Yeah. And
what about the Batwomen? There's only
Orphan.
Whatever
her name is. Spoiler.
Batwoman and
Spoiler.
Orphan was in this, wasn't she?
Boom.
Just one panel, maybe.
I don't know, but the whole focus and all those flashbacks seemed like such a wasted thing, dude. I didn't want flashbacks. I didn't want to know yet again how the family feels about Alfred dying. We know they hate it. I want to see them either come together or show some remorse or be a family, dude. Is that what they're trying to say here? That without Alfred, the Bat family isn't a family? Because that's a bummer and that's stupid.
They're saying that responsibility is now up to Bruce and he's not going to do it.
He's not. He was on vacation when Alfred got murdered.
They beat him down the entire issue.
Yeah, dude. They kicked him down, dude. Like, dude, it was painful.
Who's going to clean Wayne Manor?
Responsibility. Bruce didn't Detective Comics annual. He had to wash the dishes.
Yeah,
it is all Bruce's fault.
Even if it is all his fault, like they really need to be more sympathetic and understanding. Like they were still dickheads to the end. Man.
They asked him to. They wanted him to open up. You just showed
but
him.
He can't do it, and they know he can't do it. So why are you going to tell someone, "Oh, you can't do this. You can't do this"? Yeah, you're not going to do it, and then walk away mad at them.
He just lost the most important person. He lost the most important person in his life, and everybody's telling him what an idiot and what a jerk and how he's a failure.
Because it's his fault.
Oh my God!
It is his fault.
It's his fault. Alfred got
you can blame Tom King's writing, but the story is the story.
So do you have to sit down and tell him that? If you make a stupid mistake, and
I agree with you that this book is
do you want me to be there and be like, Gomer, I'm sorry this happened to you? Or do you be like, this is all your fault, Gomer? You're an idiot.
That's what I wanted.
This book was shit, though. I think this book did what it needed to do.
I wanted forgiveness. I wanted them
create
to
a bot on ComicCast.
They didn't forgive anybody. They shit on Damian. They shit on Bruce. They shit on everybody. Bruce deserves it, but I still think that it would have been better off if they would have come together and had some sort of forgiveness thing going on.
That was the picture at the end with everybody going.
But they weren't. They was just he had it in his pocket, like daydreaming. All you got to do is open your mouth, Bruce Wayne. Open your mouth, Batman, and say something. It is Tom King's fault.
Not Bruce's fault.
No, I mean, the story is the story. Tom King wrote it to be Bruce's fault.
Not my Batman.
Not my Batman.
No, definitely
Can
not.
we rate this thing?
It's too
I
bad
gave
we
it
can't
$1.99.
bring
Wow.
Bruce Wayne into the real world and direct him towards Tom King.
If it wasn't drawn so well and written so well, I would have given it 99 cents. But
Wow.
it was drawn super well because everything
Oh.
worked. But what they were going for,
The Macklemore
what is
rating.
going on with the Bat Family? This is stupid. This is ridiculous.
If
man.
it was a single issue and I didn't have the Father's Day issue, I would probably give it $2.99. The Father's Day issue was one of the best comic
really
books
good.
I read last year, and that makes me put this at $1.99.
Gomer, are you rating it so low just because you don't like you were? Did you have expectations that they were going to get like reunited and be happy in this, or what?
No, I find it unbelievable that they're all going to crap on each other the way they are. They have all of this history, and just because you lose that one cog in your family, because that's the whole point of this. What they're saying is they are no longer a Bat family because
But you're
Alfred
ripping
is
on
dead,
Bruce, and that's what they
bullshit.
did.
It is Bruce's fault.
So then why?
I don't think they should have ripped it. I'm not his family. I'm not a Robin. I'm not a Robin. Bruce deserves it, but
You're a
that's why they should forgive him and Damian because it's
look at
their
that.
fault,
The comic
because
shop hardly sold.
There's two $4.99 ratings in the chat. Our highest is $3.99.
Well, I'm glad you rated it.
Yeah,
I rated $1.99 because I did not find this at all interesting. And what Boogie is saying, I think Jason said it too. That as someone who doesn't read Batman or any of that, when I was going through it and Barbara or who like flipped out, it felt like out of nowhere. Like, what the hell is going on in this book?
That's all they did was beat him down.
That's the point where she should have grabbed his hand and looked at him with a meaningful look, in her eye and said, "Come on, Bruce, we are family. We got to get together." But instead, everybody's just going to be pissed off and put their
I rated.
I really wish everyone would like pitch in and get together and work together, but.
This should have been no more than, $3.99 would have been the normal. It was unnecessary. It just $5 for this is a ripoff. DC Comics, suck it.
I just don't like this direction that they're going.
Right. I think they're going to fix it. I think right now.
Eventually they'll have
I think it's meant to be depressing. It's meant to be frustrating to see how far apart and broken that they are currently. And then I think it's going to fix itself eventually. But this is to show how low and sad it can be. So I think it did its job. I want to rate it a $3.99, but I'm going to give it a $2.99. Because it's not everything I wanted it to be. I wanted it to have some. I wanted there to be some redemption. I did want that there to be some redemption and some openness, but it did its job of making it feel really sad and pathetic. It did its job, dude.
Yeah.
I think
what the
exactly
best part
what
about the
needed
book
to be
is?
done.
The best part about the book is the conversation we've had for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Passionate.
Bruce deserved everything that he should have gotten. I agree with that. I just don't think it's in character for the Bat Family to do what I would do to Bruce Wayne. You know what I mean? Right. If it was me, I'd be like, dude, you're a jerk. You're staring at Dad is dead because of you.
You have to mention what Tom King did. Be like, yeah, you were on an island on vacation. Because it's in continuity. It's not like a side thing. You have to mention that stuff.
Batman doesn't get vacations.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
How dare you?
Yeah.
And I'm good with them doing what they did. I just don't think it's in character for them to come out and not forgive each other just because Alfred's gone. If anything, with Alfred's gone, that should be more of a reason that they come together, not be pulled further apart. It just seems like that's not what would happen to me. That's my biggest problem with it.
Lost in Comics calling out Jason for caving to pressure. Let's move on. Let's stop talking about it. The Outright Geekery logo's gone. New comic book day.
Ooh.
February 19th, 2020. What are you guys excited about?
I did not look at that.
American Jesus.
Jason gets mad when I don't let him do this, and now he's not prepared.
Yeah, I know.
I got a bunch of #1s written down. Well, of course, we got the big Canopus #1 from Scout.
I know after Canopus. Yeah.
God Killers #1 from Aftershock. That looks kind of neat.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to put on the Book of the Week poll, but
sorry.
Freaking Aftershock. It's not your fault. It's theirs, Gomer.
We got Bang #1 from Dark Horse.
Looks awesome.
That was on the Book of the Week poll.
Finger guns too, right? Is that #1 this week? Is that due out this week?
Oh, I didn't see that one.
That looks rad. 'Cause people get a
Um,
bunch of powers where their finger guns actually.
Oh, I
do
heard about
stuff.
that.
You know, Wolverine #1's the book of the week. It's already
Yeah,
dominated.
$8.
Got it. Oh, my
$8.
Wow.
$1 for
Adam just got so
$8.
pissed. How about DC Unkillables, dude? I'm excited about
Yeah,
that.
I'm excited for that.
the next
the
Hill
next
House
one.
DC Plunge #1.
Yeah, Plunge has a great Gary Frank variant cover.
It does.
Oh, it looks amazing.
Well, you got to
I'm
have
gonna
some
get
way
it-
to
I'm gonna
sell
get it
these
just for
books.
that.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
dude,
gonna get
I
those
read
out.
the Dollhouse Family again this week. It's good. You guys need
I gotta
to
read that,
it.
man. I gotta
I'm
read
gonna
that.
have
That's
to
the
go- I'm
one
gonna
I
have to go
gotta
back
read.
and find
It's
it.
way better.
The Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sortino, Killer Smile or whatever, that's coming out.
Yes, dude.
#3, and they
It's
announced a
3 of 3. It's done.
They
Yeah.
announced a prequel one-shot starring Batman.
What?
Yeah,
yes.
did you not see that?
I
Coming
saw
out
the
in
Batman
April.
cover, but I didn't know that was a prequel one shot.
Yeah,
I thought it was
yeah.
issue 3 that's coming out.
No,
No,
coming
no.
out in April. It's a prequel where it's like little baby Bruce Wayne, little kid Bruce Wayne
Uh-huh.
is watching a clown-oriented child show, like Krusty the Clown.
Uh-huh.
That's all like we really know thus far.
Wow.
But
Oh,
my
another,
gosh.
Because
But
when I
it's
saw that
already
Batman,
it's already on my list for best
When I-
single issue of the year.
when I saw that Tarantino,
and it's like 3 months out.
When I saw that Tarantino Batman cover, I thought that was for issue 3,
No.
and I thought the series could end on issue 2. So I was like, "Oh my god, it's just all in Batman's head." It's like
Oh,
it's
right.
like because
Like
it's
that
Batman, you
trope.
can do whatever you
Yeah.
want, you can do it. So I was like, it just opened
Yeah.
my whole entire imagination up. I was like, "Oh my
Got some
god."
Valiant
Right.
books, Gomer.
Yeah, Doc Tomorrow #1 comes out. Bloodshot #0 comes out.
Yep. And I'm wondering if for Marvel, the Machine Man #1. It's
No,
part
I'm
of
not
the it's
reading
part
any
of
of
the
that
2020,
2020
but
crap.
Don't read it. Don't read it.
it's Christos
No,
Christus Gage.
Gage though.
Yeah.
I mean he's not bad.
no.
He wrote
Dude,
the
I
hell
told
out of
you guys
Superior
2020 was gonna
Spider-Man for
suck.
me.
Yeah.
And I'm still reading it
Skulldigger and
all.
Skeleton Boy issue 3.
Yeah, Skull Digger,
Terrible.
Skeleton Boy 3, Lemire and Zonjic. American
Tree
Jesus,
#4?
New Messiah, Daredevil 18, Chip Zdarsky and Jorge Fornes. Cannot wait.
Family Tree
Daredevil.
#4. Are you guys reading?
Unkillables?
Yeah,
talked
he's
about
mentioned
that.
Unkillables.
Are you
Yeah.
guys
my
reading
bad.
Family Tree still? Surely.
No, I want to
No.
read those first
Oh
issues.
yes,
I didn't
I
like
am
any of
reading
them.
Family Tree. It's
Oh, it's right.
nothing's going on, but it's so damn good.
What
I
are you
gotta catch up
talking
on
about?
that.
It's great.
gotta read
Nothing's
that.
going on, but it's so good.
How dare you?
It's just a bunch of family members hanging out talking about Tree Girl, but I can't quit reading it. It's so good.
It's Jeff Lemire. It's amazing. Shut your mouth.
So good.
How dare you?
Damn, how many damn books does Jeff Lemire have coming out next
Who
week?
cares?
That's
I'm happy.
Didn't he just
3
announce
right
something
there.
too? I feel like he just announced. Oh, that's right. The bad idea comic.
Well, now that hasn't been announced yet.
Right, but we know
He's
that
on the
writing one.
list.
Yeah,
But dude, they're putting
we
out
have no
one
idea.
or two-
One or two a month, so we have no idea when it's going to come out. It could be
It
like
could be years before it comes
True.
out. Yeah, whatever. Don't get me
Gosh.
started on Bad Idea. Okay, Don't get me started.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. We got to wrap this
Jeez.
thing up.
All
We're
right.
already in overtime, letting you guys talk, letting you guys have fun. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Make sure you guys do smash the like button. I will be live on Tuesday. I'm over the coronavirus, so I will be here. Thanks
He
to
didn't have
Peter Simonetti.
Corona.
Kung
Thanks
Fu.
to Peter Simonetti for letting me reschedule the interview with him. He'll be here on Tuesday night, 9 o'clock.
Nice.
Come hang out with us. It's going to be a good chat. If any of you guys want to join us, you can. It doesn't matter. I can shoot you guys the link. It's just going to be a fun conversation with the owner of Alterna Comics. So come hang out Tuesday night, 9 o'clock. But that's it. It's going to wrap up this episode of
Nope.
ComicCast. We'll be back next week with another interview.